Hello students, welcome to today's session. In this session I'll be explaining about rest of the topics from your Unix commands. So in this Unix commands we are going to discuss the command called as touch command. So the touch command is used to create an empty file. So this empty file will be having 0 bytes of information, and this file what you're going to create will have uh, will not have any data. You can use this file to create the data later, or you can enter the data into the file later. So I'll just go to the Cygwin software. So if I want to create a file, I'll just use the command called as touch followed by the file name. So I'll give the file name as file2. Once this is done, you can see the file will be created. If you want to list the file, as we discussed, we'll be having a command called as ls, which is used to list the files or the directories from your program. So I have listed the files. You can see I have a file called as file2. Now to display the content, we'll be using a command called as cat command. So I use cat followed by file2, and you can see it is not displaying any content there. So this file is a empty file which is created by using this command called as touch command. So touch command is used to create a empty file, and this touch command can also be used to do other functions. Like if you observe, it can be used to change the access time. Access time is like just now I have displayed using cat command. So when I try to display uh, the information about the file, it will also have when the file is accessed. The access details of the file will be stored. To change that file access details, I can use touch -a. Similarly, I can use -c. If the file does not exist, say do not create it. So for example, if the file which you are going to create, if the file does not exist, we are not going to create that particular file. So if it is existing, we can create the file and we can make it as empty. So as you can see, we have used two examples here. So this example I have shown you. So touch followed by the file name, it will create the file. Now the second example, touch followed by C, and uh, to create file using specified time. Say for example, this -t will represent we are going to change the time of creation. So when the file has been created, the time can be changed by specifying the time also. Okay, so here I'm specifying the file name and I specifying the time also. Usually when you create a file, the current systems, whatever time is there, time and date, that time and date will be consumed for creation time. When you want to change that date and time, we will be using touch command by using a option called as /t. So if you observe here, whenever I create this touch command, so I'll be writing touch followed by. So if you want to uh, see the information about the file, say for example, uh, we have a command called as manual. Okay, so I'll write touch. So once I write man space touch, so this man command is used for displaying the manual. So what does that manual contain? You can see. So this is the name of the command, which is touch, which is used to change the timestamp. That is the file's creation time, date of creation, time of creation, everything can be changed with the help of this touch command. So this is the syntax. You can see option followed by file name. So we have several options. So what are the several options that we have? You can see here. So first one, it is -a. It is changing only the time of access. You can change the time of access. When I use -c, no create, do not create any files. Okay, now again, so when we are going to use -cs, now if the file is already created, we are not supposed to create a file with the same name again. We're going to just change the like say time of creation and access time will be changed. Similarly, -f, it is ignored. -h, M, R, and T. So you just remember some of the important things like important options hyphen A, hyphen C, and hyphen T, which will be used to change the time. Now, when you want to change the time, we'll be using format something like this. So first, YY represents a year, month, date, hour, minutes, and seconds. So when you're going to use, instead of using the current date and time of creation, if you want to mention the time and date of creation, in that case we can use this option called as hyphen T. Okay, so now I need to come out of the uh, manual. So you can see press H for help or Q for quit. So you can use those type of syntaxes whenever you want to change the time of the creation. So that is about touch command. So just go through these options. What are the uses of options, and by using it, what we can do. Next, coming for one more command called as more command. More command is used to provide filter. Okay. So what is the use of filter is whenever you want to search any text or whenever you want to display something on the screen, you can use this more command to filter the information. Say for example, I want to display only first two lines of from a file, or whenever I want to display only first three lines, or whenever I want to display only say for example last information or only that particular words. In that case we'll be using this command called as more command. So more command will be say for example if I create something, have already created a file, I'll just display say called as prg. So file does not exist, so you can see we have many files. I'll just display abc, so I'll just display cat space abc. So once I display, you can see I have this two lines, that hello as well as Unix. Now I want to display only first line first line from that information. Then I'll be using something like a more plus, I'll use one since I need to display only one line, and then followed by the file name which is abc. So it is .txt. So I can use only one particular file. So you can specify the file name. This will be working only on the text files. So for that I need to create a text file so that I can display only that particular line from the say using more command. So you can also check the manual of it. So you can write man space more. Once I write man space more, it is used for filtration, or when you want to give specific apply a specific filter for the text. In that case we'll be using this more command. So more is a filter for paging through text, one screen full at a time. So it's going to display only in one screen at a time. Okay, whichever how much data is sufficient, it will be displaying only in that particular screen. And followed by the options that you can see, you can have you are having many options. So for example, if I use hyphen d, so when I use hyphen d, uh, so it is going to give a prompt saying that press space. See, whenever you want to uh, quit, in that case we'll be using space or q, or and display, it is going to display something called as h. Okay, so instead of giving some bell sound or any other message, if you want to give some specific information, in that case we'll be using hyphen d. Similarly hyphen l, so it is going to say as it says, do not pause after any line containing a. So for example, after completion of a line, it is not going to pause, it is going to continue all the lines, it is going to display all the lines. So for that we'll be using hyphen l. So hyphen f, if count logical lines, when you want to display only the given number of lines, say three lines or four lines, in that case I'll be using hyphen f. So again similarly if you don't want to scroll, then I'll be using -p, -c, the same thing, do not scroll. So these kind of functions will be implemented with the help of this command called as more command. So simply to say, more command is a command which is used to apply, say, filter. So based on some pattern, so based on some given pattern that what we are going to use, we can filter the data from the file, just like how you're going to use find in MS Word. When I use Control and F, if I try to give a text, it is going to find that particular text in the given document. Similarly, more command will be used in Unix, and we'll be having several functions based on this that we'll see while studying the programs. Now coming for LP, LP or LPR both are same, which is used for uh, printing. So whatever data you have, if you want to print the data that is present in the file, if you want to print that data on any file, or if you want to send it to a printer, in that case I'll be using LP command. So LP command is used to just print. Okay, so to print the data onto any file, we'll be using LP command, which again have several options. You can see the options that we have given here. So like E, H. So H will be like when you connect your computer with like say printer, will have something called as port name. Port name is uh, it will be forming a network. So you are going to connect your computer with the printer, so it will form a network. So when it forms a network, it will have server and port number and other informations. So whenever you are forming a network, we'll have this concept called as encryption and server formation. Okay, so to mention which port number we need to use and the type of encryption that we need to use, or do you want to encrypt, or if you don't want to encrypt, those informations will be specified by specifying E as well as H. Similarly, C, J and T, all these things will be used for specifying the job name. Job name is just like when you print any file, that will be first job, and if you print the second file, it will be second job. So if you want to give some name to that particular job, we'll be using these options like C, J or T. So -p, it will be representing the destination, or printer files, prints files onto a given printer name. You have specified some name to the printer, so that name will be used for displaying the information, or whatever print you want to print. So it is going to identify the name of the printer. To that particular printer, it is going to send the information. So again, you have U, which is going to specify alternative username. Hashtag will represent how many copies you want of that particular file. You can also use H, L. So L will be representing, say for example, already formatted data that is you have. You can apply with or without some filtering, without uh, providing any filtration. You can display that information on the printer. So M, which will be used for send an email. So once that particular job has been completed, it is going to send the email. So we have O, which is used to set job options. So this is not required for you. You just understand these basics like H, E, C, J, and U, hash, and H as well as -L. So these are important for your syllabus. So according to this, we can also have one more options like Q, holding jobs for printing. That is, it is going to display um, currently you have 5 files to be printed. It is going to hold that, and then it is going to print the current whichever file you have tried to print. Okay, in that case we'll be using Q. So Q will be representing hold the jobs for printing. So it is going to hold the jobs for printing. So and then -R, which is used to specify, so named printer print files should be deleted after printing them. So once the file has been printed, so whatever files that is present in the printer's queue or printer's memory will be deleted. Okay, so that is about LP command. So in general, we can say LP command is used for just printing the data onto the printer, which contains server name, port name, a printer name, and username, and how many copies you want. All those informations can be specified with the help of options. Next, coming for PR command. So PR command is used to uh, provide formatting for that page. Just if you consider any page that you want to print, that page contains several things like margin, like say for example, left margin, a right margin, top of the page, header of the page, and then footer of the page. All those things will be provided by your MS Word. Similarly, the same thing if you want to do on Unix programming, we'll be using this command called as PR command. So which will be again used for printing itself with providing some specific margins, headers, footers, and it'll be uh, in the form of a particular page length. Say for example, A4 size, A3 size, all those things can be set uh, when you use PR command. Okay. Next, we have a command called as ln command. So ln command is used to link two files or directories. In the sense, if you consider I have a file called as ABC. So if I display something like cat ABC, you have the file called as ABC. Now I want to create a one more file. So suppose I'll want to link something like I'll write link space. I'll write the source file. The source file is ABC, and I'll write one more file name called as XYZ. Now once I execute this, we are going to have two files with the same data. So that is, we are going to link both the files. Both the files will be linked. When the data that is changed in one file, it will be reflecting in the other file. Now if you try to display XYZ, now you can see whatever content I have in ABC, the same content is present in XYZ too. So we are linked two different files. So one is ABC and other one is XYZ. So both the files will be having same content. So for that we'll be using the command, either you can use ln or you can use a link command. So it will be having a syntax something like this: ln option, you have a source and destination file name. So there are two types of links. We'll consider it as symbolic link, other one is hard link. Symbolic link is for a simple file name, we're going to create two files. So same data, if you have ABC file has some content, the same content will be copied to one more file. Hard link is you create a file with which will be pointing to same physical location. So whatever data you change in the location, it will be reflecting in the both the file names. Okay. And at last we'll be discussing one more topic called as wildcards. What is wildcards is for any given representation of any file name or any pattern or any text or characters, we'll be using some special characters to represent those characters, which is, that is nothing but the number of characters are interpreted by some special characters. Those special characters are called as say we'll consider it as hash string. Say for example, if I just go to any web page and if I try to write something, or if I just minimize this, or if I go to the Windows Explorer. So this Explorer, if I want to find a file name, I'll just write Unix. So once I write Unix, it will find all the files that is related to, or it is going to find this particular text called as Unix, and it is going to list all the files. Now, if I write something like this, like hashtag, hashtag will represent, hashtag is a wildcard that is going to represent zero or more characters. So after dot, if I write something like PPT, so now it is going to list different types of PowerPoint files, whatever the name can be. It has listed some set of PowerPoints that we have created. Okay, so all these PowerPoints, we can see the pattern that have given us star hashtag dot PPT. So that is nothing but, so this is a wildcard that will be representing zero or more characters. So if you have a file name, so that file name can have any number of characters, and after dot it should have something called as txt. So if I write something like a hashtag txt, in the sense it will start with a and it can have any number of characters as a file name and its extension is txt. So that is 0 or more characters. So question mark will represent any file name with a single character. Say for example, I have given something like A. After that, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 question marks. So it is going to identify a file name that starts with A and it having 5 characters. So after that, it is going to have 5 characters. That can be anything. That can be a number. That can be any character, uppercase, lowercase, any character it can be, and it will be having the extension as .txt. It is going to search for that particular file which will be having this pattern. So it will start with A and that A will be followed by 5 characters. So that is will be represented by a single wildcard called as question mark, which will be representing a single character. Now this square brackets will be representing a range of characters. A range of characters in the sense. So this uh, say for example, if I find something like a phone number. If I have a phone number, I want to find that phone number should have only numbers. It cannot have anything like alphabets or special characters should not be present. It should have only numbers. In that case, we can use this pattern, which is our square brackets. So when I use square brackets, we can represent the range of characters that is possible. Say if I write something like this within square brackets, I'll write some value like 0 hyphen 9. So I can have any values or any characters between 0 to 9. And if I write asterisk here, it is representing I can have any number of characters that is only numbers. It cannot have alphabets. It will be only numbers. If I write something like say for example, if you have I need only 5 characters, I need only 10 characters. In that case, I can write slash 10 or slash 9 or something like that. That will be representing how many characters that we want. So that we are going to discuss in something called as grep command, and those commands we are going to discuss all those functions. Now that is called as pattern matching. So wildcards are usually used in pattern matching. The concept of pattern matching, we'll be using wildcards. So we are having basically 3 wildcards. One is asterisk, question mark, and we have square brackets, which are important for your um, pattern matching. Okay, so I'll stop this session with this comments. In the next session, we are going to discuss something called as file comparison and file permissions. Okay, so thank you.